The philosopher-emperor and one of the founding fathers of Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius, was a renowned thinker for his book, Meditations. Stoicism is based on the principle that to be a wise person, one must live in accordance with nature and not shirk their responsibilities. A Stoic does not fear pain, death, poverty, or the vicissitudes of human condition. They fear only disappointing themselves and being less than a complete human being. This idea might be somewhat nebulous, but perhaps there is no one in history more deserving of this title. This is not just another cliché video, it's a demonstration of how Marcus Aurelius's immortal philosophy can be an antidote to many problems we encounter in modern life. In this video, you will understand why Marcus Aurelius was an emperor who ruled from 160 AD to 180 AD. He was the last of the so-called 5 good emperors and ruled during a period known as the Pax Romana, or Roman peace. In fact, when Marcus Aurelius died, so did the Pax Romana. When he was emperor, he was the most powerful man in the world. Romans basically had no concept of the world outside their empire, so in their view, Marcus was effectively the ruler of the world. Now, imagine being in that position. He could have anything he wanted. The emperors before him had set a standard. The life of a Roman emperor was basically synonymous with worldly pleasures. They indulged in money, sex, wine, and any other pursuit that vaguely appealed to them. It was practically expected. So any vice that the mind could conceive was directly within Marcus Aurelius's reach. He was entirely shielded by money, law, customs, and even ethics. Nothing and no one would prevent him from indulging in his wildest desires. However, even in these unlimited circumstances, Marcus Aurelius chose a life of virtue. Not just in a moment or on occasion, but every day for the 19 years of his time as emperor. Marcus Aurelius was essentially a good man. Being good doesn't make a person great, but imagine facing a beast that promises you truly limitless fantasies and yet you declare, "No, I choose virtue." Not for the pursuit of praise, fame, or admiration, but solely for the sake of being good. That's impressive. Imagine if it were you. Consider if you were in those circumstances for almost 20 years. Could you consistently, day after day, resist the temptation, knowing that there would be no punishment no matter what you chose to do? What would you do? How would you act? I know I couldn't follow Marcus Aurelius's example. And we know he's a true example because when no one was watching, that's when Marcus was acting at his best. Meditations is a book written by Marcus. Although it's not exactly a book, it was Marcus Aurelius's personal diary. This book is essentially Marcus navigating and discovering the journey of life. It doesn't have a real structure, except for being vaguely divided into 12 parts, and it's only about 150 pages. Meditations is the title that editors assigned to it. The writings didn't have a title, nor were they ever intended to be read, let alone published by anyone at any time other than Marcus himself. They are the deepest confessions and beliefs of Marcus Aurelius. With that in mind, Meditations is extremely revealing about the character of its author. Once again, Aurelius wasn't writing this for anyone but himself. But despite this seemingly improvised nature, Meditations is one of the most powerful and moving books ever written. Here are 7 ideas from it that I think are really worth examining. 1. Marcus Aurelius believed in living in accordance with nature. By nature, Aurelius referred to both plants and animals in the natural order of the universe. Trees grow because that's what they are meant to do. They grow as much as they can and become as beautiful as they can. Not because they seek praise or external validation, but because they grow to be powerful and inspiring. This is the natural order. Just as in the natural world, we are meant to help each other. That is our duty. The only true failure in life would be to shirk that responsibility. 2. We all face adversities, and Marcus Aurelius was no exception. However, just as he faced bad people, he realized that facing adversity is simply part of the human condition. Again, you can only control what you can control. Don't pray for bad things not to happen. That's a foolish mistake. Instead, realize that bad things will happen, and you can't do anything about it. But what you can control is how you react to them. You can control whether you are prepared to face adversity when it comes, and it will come. When that day comes, don't be sad because something bad happened. Don't pity yourself. Don't be sad. Instead, consider yourself fortunate to have the tools and spirit to go through it unscathed. Face these events like a brave man faces adversity with courage and come out on the other side. When you do this, realize that the supposed bad thing wasn't really bad after all. It was simply an opportunity to persevere, overcome, and keep moving forward. 3. Marcus Aurelius was a man of great wealth, but he didn't believe that wealth was inherently a problem. He didn't see material possessions as bad, as some other philosophers throughout history have. Instead, he was cautious about his relationship with things. Marcus Aurelius could have had anything he wanted: money, houses, art, wine, but he chose not to. Instead, he told himself, "Don't dream of physical things you desire. They are meaningless. They do not fulfill your potential. Only you can do that. Reflect on what you have and value those things. Remember how much you would desire them if you didn't have them. But be careful not to value them so much that you become disheartened if they simply disappear. They don't matter that much. They are good, but they don't matter. They don't make you a better person or a more virtuous or kind person. Your potential is not to accumulate things. Human potential is greater than that. Your greatest value comes from within." 4. You must live in accordance with nature. Marcus Aurelius spent a lot of time thinking about death, so it would be impossible to discuss his views without touching on the subject. His views on death were simple: it's coming, whether you like it or not. Remember that you will die, so that you remember to live. He repeatedly tells himself, it's beyond your control, so don't waste your time fearing death or worrying about mortality. Just as nature has destined us to be good, to help each other, and to fulfill our full potential, nature has also destined us to die. Death is a duty. So, while you're here, live. Be kind. Be good. Fulfill your role in nature and then die, because death is also part of that role. Marcus Aurelius, along with a few other men, was a precursor to the philosophy known as Stoicism. Stoics believed in many things. Their school of thought encompasses logic, ethics, physics, and much more. But there's a distinction at the core of historical philosophy: the distinction between pleasure and happiness. Money, fame, even success were external stimuli that provided fleeting moments of pleasure, but that wasn't happiness. Happiness was something more. It was a state of being that came entirely from within. It didn't come from being an emperor like Marcus Aurelius. It didn't come from worldly things. The Stoics believed that to achieve happiness, you must live a life of virtue. You must continually improve and become all you can be. The only true failure, the only true pain, the only true sadness, the only thing that's worth anything is disappointing yourself, falling short of your potential, because that's your duty. That's the only thing that's worth it. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the space below to share your thoughts and feelings. And remember, immortality isn't about prolonging physical existence. It's about reaching a state of consciousness where every moment lived is truly eternal. If you liked this video, please subscribe and leave a thumbs up. Stay with the Creator,